Hey friends, Becca here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have 5 lessons that I want to share with you of things that I've learned over the last 10 years of research and discovery and even some financial investments, things that I learned from those as well. Recently, I realized how much I've learned in the last 10 years. 10 years ago, I was 22, so I'm 32 now. At the time, I was still living with my parents, despite many efforts of wanting to live on my own. Not that living with your parents is bad, especially if it's not a toxic environment, and in this day and age, the economy, trying to live on your own be expensive and virtually impossible, to be completely honest. I was failing at college, but not quite ready to throw in the towel. And I was still living with this burning desire to have my own online business. I'll never forget where I started. I first discovered that blogging was a thing back in 2012. I had no idea how to start, let alone make money from it. But that didn't stop me from doing a million Google searches, reading a million blog posts on how to start a blog and how to make money online. It didn't stop me from downloading a zillion freebies. Those are those lead magnets, those free downloads that when you put in your email and you can receive an email to download something for free. It's a way that creators are able to build their email list. Very important for content creators and business owners. And later on, I even spent money on courses and ebooks and even memberships. None of these are bad things. I'll talk a little bit more about them later, but eventually, all of this research led to me discovering digital products, affiliate marketing, and even freelancing, like being a virtual assistant or a social media manager. I'll never forget when my mom bought me a virtual assistant starter kit from this blog that I found. It was $100, and we thought that was so much money because, to an extent, $100 is a lot of money, Even though nowadays $100 hardly buys you anything. You take $100 to the grocery store and you come out with 5 things if you're lucky, So basically, I've been on this journey for so long, starting with the desire to have my own business when I was a teenager, towards having the resources to finally do this research, and then learning the terms like SEO, search engine optimization, affiliate marketing, where you promote someone else's product and you earn a small commission. Creating your own products, whether they're physical products like print on demand or digital products like a course or something, So many terms, so many things. Nowadays, most of these things are becoming common knowledge because of social media, which honestly, that's wonderful. I love that. As I'm on this journey, I end up discovering YouTube University, which if anybody has heard that term, it's simply YouTube, and it's the educational side of YouTube. The world became my oyster when I discovered YouTube University. Between using Google and Pinterest to read thousands of blogs and watching thousands of video tutorials on how to build a website, how to use Canva, how to build an email list. I even watched, the number of webinars, free webinars that I sat through until they would promote their product, their course, their membership, whatever the case may be. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. But I've learned so much, right? And here's the thing. I finally had enough information to feel like I could make this actually work, to feel like I could do this. So I finally had gathered the knowledge, right? And I'll tell you something. A huge amount of this learning was motivated by me being a part of an MLM and wanting to build that business, wanting to grow and, make sales and build it was a wellness community, as a health and wellness MLM, wanting to build a community around that. I'm a certified wellness professional. I have a bunch of certifications that I got as a result of being a part of that MLM. But anyway, I was doing all of this without really knowing what I was doing. I was doing it without understanding the key hows and the key whys. After many iterations of my blog and a bajillion social media posts, I discovered that there's no secret sauce to building an online business. I know, it's anticlimactic, right? Everybody wants you to think that there are these secret formulas that you need and you have to pay $500 or $1,000 or buy their $30,000 coaching program or join their $27 a month membership. There's nothing wrong with these things. But when someone is telling you that in order to learn the secrets to being successful, you have to buy their product, don't do it. There's no secret, okay? When I realized all these things, I realized that especially as times change, as analytics evolve, and people begin wanting to see different types of content online, I realized that now, whether it's 2026 right now when I'm recording this or next year, 2027, it doesn't matter when you watch this video, but now is the perfect time to get started. I know how that sounds. I'm sure you've heard the saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. I actually say this a lot because I had the realization myself that it doesn't matter when you get started. It matters simply that you start and don't stop. So, here are my top 5 lessons that I've learned over the last 10 years. And I say top 5 because there's so many lessons. There's just too many to fit into one video. So top 5 lessons. I'm still learning every single day. Never stop learning, okay? Don't ever stop learning. Number 1 is you don't have to be an expert, but you do need to know something. Basically, there are a few things you need to know to become a content creator. I'm going to speak specifically on content creation, on whether it's mainly YouTube, because that's the platform we're on here. While you don't have to be a marketing specialist or a videographer, those aren't skills that you need up front. You do need to know what kind of content you want to produce, who it's for, and why. The reason for these things that you want to know these up front is because it's going to give you clarity and a roadmap. It's going to give you direction of where you want to go. You definitely want to know already up front where you see your business in a year, 3 years, 5 years, maybe even 10 years. For me, I have a loose 5-year plan, mainly because in 5 years is a huge life change transition. My husband will retire from the military. And for us, that's going to be huge because we'll get to pick where we live. And if my business has met my goals, it could be our source of income. And he may be able to fully retire if he wants to. I want him to have that option. So you need to know where your business is going and how it's supposed to serve your life. And you need to know what you're producing, who you're producing it for, and why it matters, why it should matter to the people you're producing it for, and why it matters to you. Every course, blog post, free download, and video I've ever watched over the years has said that you need to define your why and your who. Those I actually agree with. There's a lot of stuff out there that people say you need to do this, you need to have that. I won't get into that here, but those are 2 things that you definitely need. Your why is just the reason, it's what motivates you to create your content, to start your online business, whatever the case may be. It's going to be what keeps you going when things get rough, when you hit a plateau, because you will, when a video flops and maybe gets a few views, but not as many as you would have hoped, when you get monetized and then maybe YouTube says, oh, we're going to demonetize you because you broke something here. And then you're going to have to go through a process to get remonetized, blah, blah, blah. Your motivation, your reason why. You need that up front. It might change over time, but you need something solid up front to keep you going. The who is your ideal or desired audience. Be careful with this one though, because you don't need to get super specific unless you want to. There are a lot of people who say you need to have an ideal audience avatar. You need to basically create the ideal person profile of the one single human being that you are talking directly to. I'm talking to you right now. But I disagree with that. I don't think you need to know your ideal viewer or reader's favorite food on a Sunday night or the playlist they put on repeat on Spotify. That's irrelevant. What they like to do in their free time, what their favorite food is, only matters if that's the kind of channel you're doing. You only need to know your ideal person's favorite food if you are a food channel. If you are a musician, that's, of course, it would be helpful to know what kind of music your ideal audience likes. Personally, I think that you can reach your ideal audience simply by being yourself. Share your content in an authentic way, however that looks for you. Share the content that makes you happy. I talked about this in a previous video. And share in a way, a format, a style like this, for example, that is sustainable and realistic for you. If trying to make homemaking videos where you are going to have 3 to 5 different camera angles and you're going to have to pause doing the dishes 10 times because you need to show 5 different angles of you scrubbing a pot, if that does not sound exciting to you, don't do it. If you go back to older videos on my channel, you'll see that I attempted making homemaking videos because my full-time job is a homemaker. I run my home. I keep it clean. I cook our meals. I do our laundry. It's what I do. It's the agreement my husband and I came to. We agreed that it just so happens that the traditional household roles fit us. But, of course, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a creative. And he fully supports me building my business. And of course, he wants it too, just as much as I do. But basically, I thought, I'm already doing laundry. I'm already doing dishes. I'm already cooking meals. Why not record it all? I don't like cleaning. I do it because I have to. I love cooking, but it's exhausting. So the last thing I want is to turn a 1-hour process into a 4-hour process and then edit it down into 30 minutes. You get my point? So you have to create the content in a way that is going to be sustainable and realistic for you. If you don't have fun filming a certain way, you're going to dread it and you're going to quit. So figure out what's going to work for you. Number 2, compound learning. You may have learned about compound interest at some point in your life. I am not a math girly, but I can definitely tell you that the concept of things compounding over time can translate into many fields. The one that I'll focus on here is learning. The one that I'll focus on here is learning, the acquisition of knowledge. I define compound learning very simply as learning that builds upon itself over time. The more learning you do, the more you retain, the more you grow, the more you want to learn and repeat. In fact, the idea for this video came from a train of thought where I remembered a creator that I discovered over a decade ago, who, while she's been pretty much non-existent ever since, had some really great content and resources that gave me a starting point for my learning. She had a book about small business for creative entrepreneurs, and I bought it and I read it. She had a planner for creating a blog. I bought that. It was okay. I watched whatever videos she had available on YouTube at the time. Basically, I remembered her and I went, oh my gosh, compound learning. Everything I've been learning over time has compounded and built up into what I know now and into what I can share with others so that they don't have to spend the next 10 years in the trenches doing 10 million Google searches and 1,000 hours, a week trying to figure out how to record a video or write a blog post. That memory, it took me to the realization that I've had to go through many different processes over the years in order to get to where I am today. The woman you see here right now, who has the confidence and determination to share, educate, encourage, and inspire. I'm talking into this microphone. I'm looking into this camera lens on my phone like it's normal, like talking to you who is going to watch this video after I've recorded it. So there's no one actually here present with me, as if this is just normal and no big deal. I didn't start out this way. I'd have to sift through my hard drives to see if I can find older videos that I recorded and may or may not have shared. But basically, I used to be so awkward. And to be honest with you, every time I go to record a video, I actually start out feeling awkward and I have a moment of, and I have brain farts, and you won't see these in the video, but I'll have moments where I'm reading my script or looking at my bullet points and I'll have a brain fart and I'll just kind of freeze and go, where was I going with that? And it's like, everything's gone. So you won't see those because I cut them out so the video is cohesive. But all of these things take time and practice, energy and effort, and you can do it. Number 3 is you are the brand. No matter what type of online business you want, something to be aware of is that you are the brand. I know that sounds scary. Even if you don't show your face, you share a vibe. Everything you post, every product you create, every word you share, it all reflects you, who you are, where you've been, who you're becoming, and even who you want to become. Watch any faceless YouTube channel and you'll see what I mean by this. We each present what we hope is our best. But no matter what, we're still human, which means that there are facets of our personality that will inevitably show through. And this is a good thing. We want this. This is what's going to set us apart from AI, and why human-made content and human-made products are now and forever going to continue to become even more invaluable than they're already becoming. I don't know if you're up to date on how things are going with AI, but AI content creation is becoming a thing. You've probably looked up a tutorial on, how to make a video, how to use Canva, any video. It could be a video on how to reset my Wi-Fi because it keeps going out. Okay? There's so many tutorial videos now that are AI generated, or the person screen recorded and then they did an AI generated voice. I cannot stand those. They're so creepy. I'm sorry. Okay, I just can't. So the thing that you need to remember is that you, who you are, is going to be the most invaluable thing to your business, whether it's content creation or creating a product, having an online store, whatever it is. Lately, I've actually heard that human-made is becoming a premium quality and a hot commodity. That's insane. When did we get to this point? It literally makes me feel like I'm living in a dystopian universe. I keep finding parallels between reality and the Hunger Games. Who else? Okay, so when did we get there? When did we get here? I mean, about a while back, packaging, food packaging made with real milk. All natural flavors, no artificial colors. What else? What else have I seen? Made with real meat, as opposed to what? Now we have to have made by human hands, made with human vocal cords. Okay. By realizing and embracing the fact that you are the brand, you give yourself permission to create something that is unique. And I don't mean a novel idea that no one's ever heard of, because there ain't nothing new under the sun. I mean is because there's only ever going to be one you, that makes any and everything you produce unique. Your perspective, your experiences, your desires, your life philosophy, all those things and more are part of what makes you who you are. They're also what can make your content unique and therefore attractive to the people who resonate with you as a person. Number 4, no one cares until you make them care. If your YouTube home feed is anything like mine, then you've probably seen a lot of videos lately where creators are calling everyone out with titles like, "No one cares about you." It seems a little clickbaity, I know, but if it's coming from someone that you already trust, or at least someone who presents the concept in an uplifting and empowering way, then I suggest you listen, especially if they've got a big channel. If they have over 100,000 subscribers, if their videos are getting 50,000 or more views, for example, if their channel is where you want to be and they're sharing it in an uplifting and an empowering way, maybe give it a listen. Because the truth of the matter is that no one cares about you and what you're sharing until you make them care. Guys, you don't know me from Adam. We've never met in person. You don't know me. You're watching my videos, and each time you see my face or hear my voice or read something I wrote, you're getting to know me a little better. We're beginning to build an online relationship. But no matter what, there will be a disconnect because you're not sitting here with me having a cup of coffee and hanging out and chit-chatting and talking about our day and our favorite food and, whether or not living in New Mexico is fun. Don't come at me. I don't like the desert. I don't like the heat. It's a beautiful place, though. You should visit. What I mean by this is you have to help people to see why they should care. If you're passionate and excited about what you're sharing, this will ooze from your content. Then the key is to be repetitive. Now, I don't mean repeat over and over again the same thing. That's annoying and it's spammy. Don't do that. Instead, take your message, break it down into the trillions of details and perspectives that make up that message, because every single message has a million ways that you can approach it, has tons of different steps that you can take. Take recording a video, for instance. You got to do some research. You have to write down all your thoughts. You need to set up your equipment, whatever you have. If it's your phone on a tripod and a microphone, whatever it is, it could be the simplest setup. It could be the most complicated setup. It doesn't matter. Then you have to edit your video. It could be simple editing. It could be really complicated editing. It's whatever you want. At some point, you're going to need to come up with a title. You'll need to design a thumbnail. It doesn't have to be complicated again. No matter what, there's a bunch of things you have to do. You have to write a description for your video because YouTube analytics reads that. You need to decide when you're going to post it, how often you're going to post, the next thing. You're going to turn each of those trillions of details into something you can share with passion, excitement, and frequency. I shared in another video that the YouTube algorithm doesn't care when you post or what you post. It only cares about how often you post. This is still true. I just listened to a podcast where a former employee of YouTube was interviewed. She was a YouTube Partner Program Manager. That's just someone who provides support to gigantic YouTubers who have been invited to have a Partner Program Manager. I'd never heard of that until I heard this podcast. But basically, she explained a few things. I'm just going to summarize because it was a pretty long video. Number 1 is that the community tab is severely underutilized. Apparently, the algorithm analyzes your community tab and uses that data to share your channel with more relevant people. Number 2 is that long-form content is still the most powerful content on YouTube because it's what the platform was designed for. However, the company still has to keep up with trends if they want to stay relevant. And that's the reason why they keep making changes and updates and adding things to the platform. They're a business. They have to do what they have to do in order to continue to make money and exist. But you don't have to use short-form content unless you want to. There are plenty of YouTubers out there who are literally just short-form creators, and they're making their moolahs, their monies, living their life. If that's your style, do it. But if you prefer this type of content, watching it and or creating it, do that too. I actually watched another video from another creator I just discovered who tested doing both short form and long form and discovered she makes more money from long form. And that makes sense. Very, very simply, the longer your video is, the more ads display, and the more people that watch your ads, the more money you make. The last thing that this woman mentioned in her interview was that the algorithm only cares about how often you post because the more data it can analyze, the more people it can push your channel to. And this makes perfect sense because you can't very well come to an informed conclusion without a whole lot of data. The YouTube algorithm needs as much data as you can give it. Therefore, the more you post, the more data it has to analyze. Plain and simple. I don't know how much more straightforward that can get. So post what makes you happy, post what fuels you, and post the stuff that you can see yourself talking about for years to come. If you can't shut up about it, it's probably what you should be posting about. Your passion and excitement mixed with the frequent uploading are what will make people care about your content and then eventually about you. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable when it's relevant. Don't be afraid to be true and authentic to yourself. That's what people want to see. Real people with real ideas, sharing it all in real ways. There's so much fake stuff out there. AI videos, AI, music, artwork. It's rampant, guys. And I know that there's a place for AI in the world, but when it comes to creativity, AI should not be inside of creativity. This is a human thing. Humans are creative. Computers are not. Computers are human made and they deal with ones and zeros. Okay? We are people. We are creative. We've been blessed with a little nugget of God's creativity, and we have a responsibility to use it and to not allow AI to infiltrate into creativity. So if you're with me, comment heck no AI in the comments, okay? I'm sorry. I know that was random and like a little side note, but I'm just too passionate about that. But it's the truth. People are getting sick and tired of seeing AI content on social media. So be the one person that someone can find and fall in love with their content that is producing something real. Number 5 is don't be afraid to invest in yourself. I know that word invest is thrown out a lot. People use it all the time. Salespeople love using the word invest to make us feel like the price tag that we know is ridiculous is actually justified by the transformation we're going to experience from whatever they're selling. MLMs do this. Door-to-door salesmen do this. When you go to a mattress store, they do this. It doesn't matter where you go. Nowadays, if a salesperson is going to make a commission off of your purchase, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's like so worth the investment to rest me. Companies and people use the word invest to persuade their prospects into purchasing products or joining, whatever they're offering, like MLMs. They use the word invest to convince you that it's a worthwhile investment to join our team and become an ambassador. The product that you could get for half the price, the same quality at a local grocery store, is so worth the investment because you can make money off of it when you sell it. Invest in yourself and your business. It'll be worth it. This is what they say. Well, when I use the word invest, I'm not trying to sell you something that you don't actually need at an unjustifiably exorbitant cost. What I'm doing here is reminding you that growth and progress costs something, whether that be time and energy or the addition of money, a financial investment. When you invest in yourself, you are filling your cup. Think of it like getting adequate sleep or eating nourishing meals. These are investments in your health. These investments also have a ripple effect on the rest of your life. The same goes for your online business. While nowadays there isn't much you can't learn for free through YouTube, this learning is still an investment of time, energy, and effort. It takes time to watch a video. It takes energy and effort to search and scroll and click and read descriptions and see what other people have to say in the comments and implement what you're learning. If it's a tutorial and you're following it step by step, you might find a template, an ebook, or even a course or membership that offers you something that you need in order to make progress that you desire in your business. As long as you are not breaking the bank, those are all viable investments that you can make to improve your skills and knowledge. Something you need to keep in mind here, though, is that any investment you make should be in support of your long-term goals. Don't waste your time and money on something that is shiny and seems too good to be true, because it probably is. Anyone trying to sell you, live the life of your dreams with only a few hours of work a week, is a liar and a scammer. Building an online business is just as much work, if not more work, than building a brick and mortar business. Number one, because online, no one's going to see you unless you are showing up constantly. In person, a brick and mortar business is right there. People are going to walk by it. People are going to see whatever signs you put up. But with online, you've got to be showing up intentionally and frequently if you want to see growth. There's basically a whole book on the topic of working just a few hours per week and becoming a millionaire. I've read it. You've probably heard of it. The 4-Hour Workweek. Yikes. I wholeheartedly disagree with it. And quite honestly, the whole book was mostly a bunch of mumbo jumbo. It didn't make much sense to me. I don't know if it's because I wasn't processing the information, if they used too many big words and my vocabulary isn't big enough. I don't know if my brain just couldn't comprehend the information that was just so ingeniously written and published in this lovely book. All I can tell you is that a 4-hour work week is not possible if you are one person and you're doing it all yourself. And it's the beginning. It's just not going to happen. So investing in yourself looks like taking the time to learn a new skill or hone in a skill you've already got experience in. It looks like consuming content that will uplift and inspire you to keep going when things get tough or you hit a plateau. This content can be in the form of books, videos, blogs, podcasts, anything. I love magazines too, so I like to look through magazines. Just remember that everything you learn will compound over time, and eventually you just may become an expert in whatever you've been learning. So yeah, I hope that all of this has been helpful, that it's made sense. I want to encourage you to never stop learning. I will never stop learning. I will never stop wanting to grow, progress, and improve. And while I'm firmly against toxic productivity and unbalanced hustle, I can confidently say that I've finally gotten to a point where I feel like I'm allowed to be successful. Yes, I said it. I'm allowed. Apparently, I needed permission. But since I decided that the only way my business dreams are going to be achieved is if I allow myself to stop being afraid of success, that means no matter what, I'm going to keep pushing forward. No longer will I live in the trenches of regret and what ifs. No longer will I doubt my abilities, my knowledge, my capacity for achieving my goals. Hear, hear. And I want you to know that this is over 10 years of mindset reshaping, prayer, learning, discovery, failing, and never giving up in the making. I guess I just got to the point where I got tired of seeing other people succeed doing the same thing that I want to do. I got tired of watching small YouTube channels become successful while I'm still twiddling my thumbs, wondering if I'm good enough. I am super proud of all those people seeing success. I am not jealous or envious of any of them. I got tired and fed up of letting myself sit by the sidelines, appreciate their growth, and see none of my own. And you can choose to do this too. You can decide that now is the time to pummel the doubts, fears, and insecurities into the ground and never look back. Now is the time to create what you've been wanting and see yourself living the life that you deserve. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take some investment and lots of learning. And it's going to be hard work. But if you really want it, it's all worth it, because anything that is worthwhile in life takes effort. If people can make a full-time living from playing with slime on camera, talking about random things from the driver's seat of their car, and tapping packaging as they restock their pantry, then why can't you and I do it too? I don't know. Maybe because we're too perfectionistic and we want everything to be all in a certain specific way, and we just need to get over it. It's okay to make crap. It's okay to upload and not look perfect and not have perfect video editing. Just do it. Do it and have fun. That's it. Here's to keeping it real. Have a blessed day. Bye.